Yesterday, I hopped on the subway to Greenpoint, Brooklyn and got to visit with Sarah Magid, a fantastic baker who specializes in delicious organic treats. Despite the rainy weather and having her own little chef to keep an eye on, Sarah was kind enough to share a wonderful recipe with us for In the Kitchen with Fridays. I hope you'll enjoy her cupcakes as much as I did on the ride home.
Hi, I'm Sarah Magid, author of Organic and Chic, an organic baking book. I specialize in organic custom cakes, and today we're going to make dark chocolate cupcake that's vegan friendly with an espresso with buttercream and hand-sculpted flowers on top. So let's get started.
It'll be me that you run to when none of the others are found. It'll be me.
So to start making the cupcake, we want to get all our dry ingredients together first. We have unsweetened cocoa powder, flour, baking soda with salt, and organic cane sugar. And we're going to sift and mix that all together, and then in a separate bowl we're going to mix our wet ingredients, which is organic canola oil, water, vanilla, and organic white distilled vinegar. And we're going to mix the wet into the dry. So the first step is mixing all the dry ingredients together in one bowl. So one quick tip that I like to do instead of sifting each ingredient separately is I actually place a wire sifter over a large bowl, and once I've sort of incorporated the dry ingredients together, I just pour it into the sifter, and I like to use a whisk for this, and then I just sift it through, and that way you save yourself time and it helps mixes it evenly. So the next step is mixing our wet ingredients together. We have 2/3 cup of an organic canola oil, 2 cups of cold water with 2 teaspoons of organic white distilled vinegar, and then a tablespoon of vanilla extract. And I actually keep vanilla beans that I've used in a bell jar, and I pour my vanilla extract in it so it infuses the vanilla to get extra vanilla-ish. So the final step is we're going to pour the wet ingredients into the dry. And I use a whisk to incorporate all the ingredients together. So one easy way that I found to put batter into cupcakes is to use a soup ladle, and I pretty much use it so that it doesn't spill on the rest of the cupcake pan. And then into the preheated oven, which is set at 350 degrees. So now we're going to make the organic espresso whipped buttercream. And I start off with a cup of organic whole milk with a 1/4 cup of organic all-purpose flour. And basically what you do is you whisk it on the stove until it starts to get thick on a medium heat, around 5 minutes. And then you let it cool, and you can rush this step by putting it in the freezer if you want. So what I'm going to do is, in my lovely KitchenAid, I have 2 sticks of unsalted organic butter, and I'm going to whip it, and I'm going to slowly pour in my 1 cup of organic cane sugar. And you want to make sure that you scrape the sides down, because sometimes butter will get stuck. And we're going to whip this until it's very fluffy and creamy. So basically you want to get your butter and sugar mixed so it's very fluffy and a lighter color. And then we're going to add the milk and flour, which is a very thickened, as you can see. And this is what's going to hold up the frosting and make it very thick and luscious, but we're not using a lot of sugar or a lot of butter to get that result. So this is the texture we're looking for, sort of thick and creamy, buttercreamish. And we're going to add our little bit of espresso. And if you have pregnant people coming or people who don't drink caffeine, you can use decaffeinated. about 1.5 teaspoons. And here we are. This is what it should look like. The espresso whipped buttercream. So we're gonna make the gum paste hand sculpted flowers. This is gum paste, and it's basically an edible Play-Doh. And you can make it yourself or buy it pre-made, and it's pretty tough at first, and you have to knead it to get it soft. I've used some food coloring, and I have kneaded the dough to get this really pale fuchsia color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to make my flowers. I'm gonna sprinkle a little organic cornstarch on my work surface, place the gum paste, and I have a couple special tools here which are technically made for the cake industry. This is a plastic roller. It's small and non-porous. And then this is also a sculpting tool that has a large ball and a small ball. But if you don't have this special type of roller, you can just use a wooden or other type of rolling pin. It'll work just as fine. And what you want to do is sort of channel your inner Play-Doh experience and roll it pretty thin. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use flower cutters. Now, I think that you can use cookie cutters, any kind of cutters. These are made for gum paste because they're very small. But when I make my cakes, I sometimes will use things that I also use for Christmas cookies, so you shouldn't feel like you have to go to a special shop for anything. And what I'm going to do is just cut out flowers and place them on this foam pad. So there's two ways to create volume with the petals. One way is to use this tool, which is a special cake industry tool. And the way that you would use this is you push into each petal, sort of in a rolling motion towards the end, starting from the center. And that really creates a volume for each petal. Or if you don't want to use this tool, you can use your fabulous fingers and pinch each petal just to get rid of the edge of the cookie cutter. And it still has a very nice hand feel to it. And after you've done this to all your flowers, this is my favorite eco tool, but I save a lot of my egg cartons from the market. The shape inside is perfect for the flowers to dry in a way that will end up giving us this sort of open in-bloom texture. So now we're down to the decorating part. Our cupcakes have cooled. We fitted our pastry bag with the frosting, and now we're going to apply it in a sort of swirled motion. And what you're going to want to do is make sure that you apply pressure from the top and use your other hand to guide. And you're just going to want to go in a circular motion and just give it a very luscious, delicious look. So I hope you try to make these very easy chocolate cupcakes with frosting, and next time that you're baking for a birthday party or for any celebration, keep this recipe in mind. It's really easy and fun and organic. Thanks so much.
This month, Sarah released a beautiful new baking book called Organic and Chic. Published through HarperCollins, Organic and Chic is full of delicious recipes and really tasty sweets for the whole family. You can pick up a copy on Amazon.com or check out Sarah's website, sarahmagid.com, for more information.
Who'll mend the holes and the tatters all in your frayed veil? Who'll drink your tincture when all of your colors are washed out? Who will be there to comfort and assuage your doubt?